Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to start doing some of my DIYs for my Alice in Wonderland tea party, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So I'm not going to go in like step by step on absolutely everything. A lot of it is pretty self-explanatory, and I'm just going to let you watch what I do because I also kind of don't have an idea what I'm going to do. I have some stuff here at the house that I have had for a while in here, and I wanted to try to do something with what I have instead of going and spending so much money out there to make these little things for my table, just little decorations for my table. But I did pick up some flowers from Dollar Tree before I got sick. I picked up quite a bit, some of this stuff before I got sick, and then other stuff I already had. So as you guys know, I have been sick with, COVID. I caught COVID. We've gone all these years without catching it, and my husband got sick first, and then my son, and then I. And thank God that my other son and my daughter, my son-in-law, didn't get it. But I also have vertigo, and I think that the virus intensified my vertigo because it was so bad. It's still bad, and I struggle with that on top of having thyroidism, and that makes me really tired. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I have everything all going all at once, but it's okay. I feel much better today, and I'm just gonna go over some things really quickly. Things that I started working on already. So I had some of this leftover yarn, and I had it in this red, and I have it in a light pink, and then I had it in a like off-white. And what I did, well, let me show you first. I had two of these bowls left from a few years back when I made some baskets for my husband for his co-workers, Christmas baskets. And I had two left, and so I figured, you know what, maybe I can do like a mushroom top for my candlesticks. I've seen many people making tutorials on mushrooms, but I didn't want to commit and make a whole big mushroom, so I figured, you know what I want to do is just the mushroom top. So I figured I'd come up with something on my own. So I'm going to be using my candlesticks to be the stem, and I'm not going to do anything to my candlesticks. I'm just going to use my candlestick as a stem, and then I'm just going to create the tops. So what I did is I had this, and then like I said, I had some of this yarn left over, and I figured, let me play with it a little bit and see what I think. And I glued it, oops, I just dropped everything there. I glued it on to my bowl like this. So I used at first hot glue, and that did not work. It was just a mess, and it was more time consuming to try to do the glue all the way around. So I forgot to grab the glue. Let me grab the glue. So I had some of this glue here, this tacky glue. This is from Dollar Tree. I used the whole entire tube to do this right here, and this is really sticky, so it really stuck to my plastic bowl on here. And then once I got my whole bowl covered with this, I just went around with my yarn, and that's what I did with that, as you guys can see. And then for the inside, because I am going to be putting this on a candlestick and it's tall, if you look underneath, you can see that I have that there. I bought this at Dollar Tree, and it's just for what is this called? Cocoa liner. It's a liner for your plants, and you put them in those wired baskets. And I just put this right in here like this. And this I did glue on the edges here with the hot glue. And then I came back with the yarn and I overlapped it in between here so that way you don't see the bowl. And so then I cut small pieces of this here, just like this. As you can see, this little piece. And then I just kind of make a little circle, and then I'm going to glue them all around like if they're little, the little, I don't know if you see mushrooms, they have the little circles all around them. I'm not sure what they are, but what they're called, but I'm going to do something like that. And then here's my candlestick, just a regular candlestick, and I think it's so pretty. And then I'm just going to set it on top like this, and then that'll be my mushroom. That's what I did with this one. And I'm not done. I'm going to actually glue like a butterfly on here. And I had also thought about gluing something like this. So this right here, we'll come back to the mushrooms right now. Let me show you what I'm going to do with these guys here. So with this, all I did was I have a laser print printer, and I just printed a bunch of images and then I cut them. And quite honestly, you don't really need a laser print jet printer, because I'm not going to be putting glue over these. So the way I stuck them on here is I used a one of these glue sticks, and I just put it on the back here of my paper, and then I just put it onto a piece of, look, this cardboard right here, and then I just glued it on here and cut it. And I did this guy here, and then I did this one here, and as you can see, it's just the back. And then I just went around the edges on here, see, with black paint, and I just covered this with black paint. And then for this one was one of the ones that I was experimenting with, and I used glue. I actually used like just regular white glue to glue this guy down. The problem with that is that it gets all like wrinkly, and so I tried to hide it with adding the glue on there, and I mean not the glue, adding glitter on there. And I don't like the way that came out, but you know what? It's already done. I'm just going to put it on my table. I don't care. I'm just going to stand the characters up on the table like this. And basically you can use poster board if you wanted to make them sturdier. But I want them to be sturdy, not just like paper where, you know, see how it just flops? So I did that to these. And like I said, very, very simple to do. Just trace it over your, cut out your image, and then just glue it on with your glue stick onto your board or poster board, and then just cut around. I use a little, I don't have it here, an X-Acto knife to kind of cut around, and scissors here and there to get into the smaller little areas. And this is a little tricky, but you know, I wanted to make some of these characters. I don't have any of the little characters. I was looking for some and I don't have any. And I couldn't find any like a Dollar Tree or at the store. Oh, here's the little knife from Dollar Tree that I used. See, something like this. And to just cut the cardboard with the image. So that's what I did with that. But now back to the mushrooms. So, like I said, I have this one right here. And, you know, this one's all right. But with this one, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add moss on here. And I have moss from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to put this in here as well, and then just overlap the moss here, and then just decorate it. I'm going to be experimenting with some of this stuff, so I'm just going to start to record and let you guys see what I'm doing. Again, a lot of this stuff is very self-explanatory, but I just wanted to come on here really quickly, even though I look horrible. I wanted to come on here and explain somewhat of what I'm going to be doing. But that way you guys can see what I'm doing, and you'll know why I'm doing what I'm doing, or, you know, the materials that I have. You'll kind of know, you'll understand. You can follow along with what I'm doing. And so, anyways, enough of my rambling. Let's get into working on these DIYs.
So on this first mushroom top, I had already explained how I put the yarn on here, but I wanted to show you how I'm adding the red yarn onto my mushroom top, and it's just gluing the little red yarn right onto my mushroom top. Here it is all done, and now I'm going to add these butterflies that I picked up at Dollar Tree, and I'm just adding some hot glue to the back of the butterfly, and then I am bending the wings up so they look like they're flying away. And just please be careful not to burn yourself, because I did burn myself putting these butterflies onto the mushroom top. So I'm going to be putting moss on this mushroom, but you'll see down the line I take it off. And then I'm just cutting down my caterpillar that's on the mushroom so he can sit flush on top of my mushroom head here. And then also I went to Dollar Tree and I found these little bees, and I'm just going to glue them on here. And I also found these little eraser bunnies in the Easter section at Dollar Tree. So here I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on this bowl, which I had got at Dollar Tree a while ago. And I'm just going to use my gloved hands to put the glue all around the bowl. And then I'm going to press the moss onto the bowl. It is a messy project. The glue will stick, the moss will stick to the glue in your hands. So I'm just forewarning you, this is a very messy part of the mushroom.
So I let this dry overnight, and as you guys can see, the top part did not get dry yet, and all around the bowl is dry except for this part here. I am going to glue this in here with a glue gun, and I have to let this dry all around here. I went back to this mushroom and I took off the moss from here. I did not like the way it looked, and this is better. And then as you can see, I glued the caterpillar with just hot glue right on there, and this will do. It's not exactly what I envisioned, but this will do. And then this right here, I'm just going to wait for this to dry, and then I'll add some of my butterflies. I'll add these little butterflies on there. All right, here are the mushroom heads, and I already did this one on the inside. But while this is drying, I am making bread and butter butterflies, and I made a template. I just drew it out as best as I could, made a template. I have some foam board here, and I just cut it. I put my template, cut it, and the paints I'm using for this is the Apple Barrel Classic Caramel and the Apple Barrel Nutmeg Brown. And I'm using this yellow from Dollar Tree. And I've already had some of this yellow Recollections. It's called Sunflower Glitter. And I'm using clay to mold the body of my little butterfly. So here I cut the little bread and butter butterfly. It's still wet, and as you can see, I just did the little edges. It's not perfect, but I did the little edges.
Here I molded the body of my caterpillar, and I do give you a different option to do the caterpillar's body as well. So one thing I didn't show you guys in this video is when I was cutting out the butterfly wings, instead of cutting a straight edge at the bottom of the wing, I would suggest you cut a little crescent at the bottom of the wing, because that way it'll sit flush to the body of your butterfly. And I did do that to the other butterfly, but I just forgot to film that. So I'm using this light caramel color for the body of my wing, and then I'm going to do the edges in that darker brown, and then I'll use my finger to smooth out the edges to give it that like toast, like that little burnt toast at the edge, but I'm not doing it very dark, just very lightly. And then I'll let this dry, and then once it's dried, then I'm going to go ahead and just do the butter on the wings. And you can do the butter also inside the wings, so you can do it on both sides. I just did it on the one side, and then while this is still wet, I'm going to pour my glitter right on top of there. So here I'm showing you how I made the body of the caterpillar, but I'm not a pro, so I'm just shaping it to the best that I can. And again, I will show you guys a different way to do the body without having to do it with the clay, but I'm just forming a little like peak at the end, like the tail, and then I'm kind of giving it a little bend, and then I will measure it to the wing so it's like a little longer than the wing, and then I'm just doing the little eyes, and then I connect the eyes together, and then I make a little nose, and you'll see I just put it all together onto the little caterpillar's body, and then I'll let that dry, and then once it's dried completely, then we can go in and paint it. So I'm going to give the body some texture, and I'm just using my utility knife to do a couple little lines for texture. Once it's dry, you can go in there and paint it, and I'm using the red for the body, the caramel color for the nose, and the white color for the eyes. And then you can use either a marker, a Sharpie, or black paint to do the eyes as well. So I'm going to set that to dry, and I'm going to use this metallic-y looking pipe cleaner, and I'm just going to make my little antennas for the top of my butterfly's head. And it's just twisting the ends and just getting it to the length that you want for your butterfly. Then when I get it to the shape that I want, I'm going to cut a tiny little slit on the top of the butterfly's head so I can stick the little antennas right into that slit and then glue it. The next step is we're going to glue our wings to our butterfly, and I would recommend cutting at the bottom here a crescent so the wing could fit perfect on the butterfly. I didn't do that to this, but I will show you in the next one that you could tell the crescent on the other butterfly. And then you can glue it onto your mushroom head. I also made some small ones, but here's the crescent. You see that right there? Cut that crescent and you can tell that it sits flush. So I'm going to show you guys how I do the other bodies. These are rollers from Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to use vase filler from Dollar Tree, the two small balls right there, and then a smaller little ball from that vase filler there from Dollar Tree. And then the white balls are going to be the eyes, and then the brown little ball will be the nose. And you can see I'm just gluing it to the end of the roller. Then I'm going to add my antennas, just like I did the first body of my butterfly. You just make a little hole on there on the top of the head, and then just add your hot glue to hold your antennas in place. And then for the eyeballs, I'm just going to use black paint to make those little dots for the eyes. And I forgot to do the crescent on the wings on this one. So inside the rollers you have a wire, and I'm just measuring the wire to cut it down to fit inside the body of the roller. That way, if I want to bend the body of the butterfly, I can do so. So if you want your butterflies to look like they're flying, do a little hanger hook. Just use a little bit of wire, bend it, turn it into like a little hook, glue it on top of the butterfly's body, and then use some clear wire and thread it through, and then you can hang it like that, and it'll look like it's flying. And then if you want to, you could just put a little piece of wire in the bottom, so that way you can poke it into your mushroom like I did this one. Now moving on to these small mushrooms that I bought at Dollar Tree, we're going to paint these a solid color, and I'm going to show you the acetone and the sandpaper. You really don't need it. I was trying to remove the glossy paint at the top, but you're going to need some glossy Mod Podge, glitter, and whatever color paints you want to use. So I'm trying to remove the gloss on top of here, but it didn't work, so just skip this step. But I am going to paint the top of my mushroom a solid color, and I'm just going to dab it on there 3 times, let it dry in between coats. I dab it like that because I want the texture, but let it dry in between coats. And like I said, I did 3 coats of this. And then I'm going to do my little dots. And I'm going to use this little brush from Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to add my little dots on top, my little circles, all around my mushroom. Again, make sure that your mushroom is dry before you do the dots, or else it'll all bleed into one color. And then once it's completely dry, I'm going to go ahead and add the Mod Podge all around my mushroom and then add glitter. And then here I'm going to show you some different ones that I did. I did some pink and white polka dots, and I did the green with the white polka dots, and I also did a blue with pink polka dots, and I think they look so pretty. I wanted to show you guys how I did my cutouts. Even though it's pretty self-explanatory, I still wanted you to see how I did this because I know I'm a visual person, so it's nice to see when other people are doing their crafts instead of them just telling you how they did it. So for all you visual people, this is for you. And here it is. And I'm using glitter glues here just to give it some shine. And then I also use regular glitter on my little cards, those little cards that you're going to see right now. These, I just put glue on them and some glitter. And voila, you have these cute little cutouts. So here are my DIYs, all done, ready for my tea party. I did change the candlesticks for my mushroom tops. I am using these much heavier candlesticks that I have here, and you'll see them in a minute. But I'm using these easel stands to put my characters on there to stand up. And then I also added some fairy lights from Dollar Tree onto my mushroom. I think it looks so cute. See, and I just have the battery pack just back there, and I really love the way that looks. But see, this is all I'm using is just a candlestick. That's it, as my stem for the mushroom. And I think that they turned out really cute. And I also added some of these roses that I picked up at Dollar Tree a long time ago, and I just glued them onto my mushroom top. And here are my butterflies. They're flying. I just tied them onto my little teacup stand. They look so cute. And then also you can add this skewer to put it into your mushroom. I hope you guys enjoyed these DIYs. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.